Once upon a time, a 10-year-old me would watch science fiction shows like Red Dwarf and Star Trek. And every so often, there would be an episode where the heroes got trapped in a virtual reality program. It would often make me wonder what video games would be like in virtual reality. Games like Sonic and Mega Man and all those classics. Back then, virtual reality was still science fiction. Now fast forward to just a few short years ago, and that science fiction became science fact. However, video games had moved on since those days back in the 90s. Gamers grew up, the trends changed, things started to become a bit more gritty and realistic. System Critical 2, for the PlayStation VR2, released on the 8th of March, harkens back to those wonderful days of old, when games were just fun.
This is a true retro-style arcade platform shooter that is so reminiscent of the golden age of gaming, you'll think that it's a core memory unlocked. The main premise of this game sees the hero, Cyborg 17, facing off against the Evil Eye Corporation, an exponential threat to all life in the galaxy. But the game's story is not where this game excels. Where this game excels is in the brutal, yet satisfyingly addictive, arcade-style platform shooting. Combat here mainly consists of a sidearm and some Mega Man-style unlockable arm cannons, which actually reminded me more of Cyborg from Teen Titans. I shouted "Booyah" every time I defeated a really hard enemy. There are also some melee weapons you can pick up along the way, such as axes and spears, and there's also some lobbable grenades. However, I found myself relying way too much on that really cool arm cannon. There's some really nice variety in the levels and in the enemies. The levels consist of ice moons and ancient civilizations and space stations. Enemies are mainly cyborg and robot insects, with some really nicely designed end-of-level bosses. Completing 2 levels that have the same symbol when you're choosing them will unlock a new arm cannon, which you can then replay the levels with the new arm cannon unlocked. Graphically, the game is very clean looking, with a buttery smooth frame rate. During my entire playthrough of the game, I didn't experience a single glitch, and there wasn't a single crash, which is quite phenomenal considering that most games come out released in a buggy state. This one didn't. And the entire game was made by a solo developer that also produced the music for this game. And just like the game itself, the music is heavily inspired by classic retro games and fits the themes of the levels perfectly. And this game is a real challenge, and it's a fun and addictive challenge. Nothing seems unfair. Every time I died, it was my own fault that I died, my own stupidity. And I think some newer gamers might not be able to finish the last 2 levels. Modern gaming holds your hand. This game gives you the tools you need to succeed, but doesn't hold your hand. So would I recommend this game to others? Yes, I think I would. If you're the kind of VR enthusiast that has good VR legs and likes a good old school retro style challenge, then yes, I think there's a lot of joy to be had with this game. I also believe that indie devs should be supported, as they carry the gaming industry on their backs. And this indie developer is a really cool guy. So yeah, I think I would recommend this game to others. If you've enjoyed this review, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you have any questions about the game, please feel free to ask them. Now, if anybody needs me, I'll be in space shooting some enemies with a big freaking arm cannon.